On this all-new episode of Nightlife, we head north of the border to relive some of the best moments on the Golden Knights road trip.
Theodore walking in, off the Barbershop, and he scores! It's 4 in a row for Vegas, and 8 straight over the Jets.
And we sit down with one of the longest tenured Golden Knights to discuss his recent contract extension.
I mean, I've been here since day one. It's home for us. It's a winning organization. There's so many factors to it. I just wouldn't feel right going anywhere else.
Plus, our very own Gary Lawless breaks down why number 3 is so important to the VGK.
McNabb has played more games in a Vegas jersey than any other player. For this, William Karlsson calls him Mr. Golden Knight.
All of that and more this week on Nightlife. Welcome into this all-new episode of Nightlife. After a nice break in the Valley, the VGK hit the road and traveled north of the border for a short 3-game road trip. First up on the docket was a matchup with one of the best in the West, the Winnipeg Jets.
Everyone's excited tonight, especially the guys from Manitoba, because their families are in the stands. A little bit of added motivation for them, and the guys want to pick them up too.
So it's always exciting coming back home to play and getting to see my family last night, having dinner with them, and then having friends and family at the game. It's a special one for sure.
You're talking about competitive professional athletes. It's easy to get up for these games. A lot of motivation. Should be a good one here tonight.
3 games in 4 nights after a 5-day break in their schedule. And they look to go to 2-0 against Winnipeg this year. Real good goaltending matchup. Aiden Hill's been the best goaltender in the league over the last month. Leading the league in victories. Connor Hellebuck at the other end, 18 victories. He's won his last 3 starts, allowing just 5 goals as the Golden Knights kick off this big 3-game road trip. Stop 1 is Winnipeg. Chiprikov moves it across. Cole Perfetti had 2 goals against Vegas last time. Nemestikov shot, save, rebound, score! Nikita Chiprikov make it 3 goals in 3 NHL games. And it's 1-0 Jets. Off this draw, Victor Olofsson shovels it down. Tomas Hertl hustling down after it. Shot and a save, Hellebuck. Couldn't get it out. Tanner Pearson keeps it alive. Hertl in front, a spin around backhand and a save made by Hellebuck. Now Pavel Dorofeev up ahead to Karlsson. Backhands it towards Houghton for the tip and a save, Hellebuck. Pass it in the middle, tipped away. Olofsson has it. Stone out high with a chance and a save, Hellebuck.
Olofsson finding Stone, who just curls, changes the angle, and a good shot. Had some room, just couldn't elevate it over that right pad.
We're getting a lot of shots, we're creating a lot of opportunity, generating a lot of chances. It's just working hard to get the first one here for us, and then, you know, we have a world-class goaltender over there, so maybe for us it's getting in his eyes a little bit more, and maybe one of those chances that we generate will go in.
Waugh turns in behind the net. Now Stanley gets it back. Connor pressured by Theodore to keep it alive. Kolasar shot, score! King and Kolasar short side, and the Golden Knights have tied it in the 3rd. Scheifele back for the Jets. Drops it off. Iafallo all tied up with Holtz. Here's Morrissey closing in. Shot, score! Josh Morrissey rips home the go-ahead goal for Winnipeg. Dylan DeMello, long wrist shot deflected towards Hill. And back out top to Eichel. Just under 2 minutes left. Theodore, Eichel, Theodore again. Stone down low. Olofsson scores on the 5-on-3 to tie it with 1:49 left.
Unbelievable. It was a great pass. It was a wide open net, and I decided to hit the net. So I'm always ready there, and it's just a great pass.
Hellebuck plays it away, and we're headed to overtime in Winnipeg.
And it's a big one here. Well-earned point here for them to at least get a point, hopefully get that extras. They head to overtime and some 3-on-3 hockey.
And Fleury for the Jets. Nemestikov is going to the bench. Theodore takes it away. Theodore walking in. Off the Barbershop, and he scores! Ivan Barbashev, the overtime winner. It's 4 in a row for Vegas, and 8 straight over the Jets.
Great pass to Barbashev, and he finds a little room. Short side past the blocker of Connor Hellebuck. A big goal and a big comeback win here for the Golden Knights.
And the 4 straight wins now tied for their best run of the season in the win column.
Time for our first break here on Nightlife. Coming up next, we sit down with Golden Knights defenseman Brayden McNabb to talk about his recent contract extension.
He came to approach me and asked me if I wanted to stay, and obviously I wanted to, and my agent and the management got together and worked out a deal that we're both happy with, and I'm thrilled to be here and super excited that I can be a part of this organization for another 3 years.
Don't go anywhere. Nightlife on Scripps Sports will be right back. Welcome back to Nightlife. Brayden McNabb has been a mainstay on the VGK back end since the team drafted him in the 2017 expansion draft. The original misfit may not light up the score sheet, but his physical presence within the D core has been more than enough to cement his mark in the Valley. Our very own Gary Lawless put pen to paper to describe what number 3 means to Las Vegas.
There are more renowned Golden Knights, more celebrated misfits, players considered more skillful. But there is no one more respected by his teammates than Brayden McNabb. They know his worth. McNabb has played more games in a Vegas jersey than any other player. For this, William Karlsson calls him Mr. Golden Knight. Durable, loyal, and brave, McNabb represents what the Golden Knights want to be. Johnny Cash sang about a bar fight spilling into a street amid the mud and the blood and the beer. That's just a night at the office for McNabb. He never takes the easy way out. He's one of 3 players to have amassed 1,000 hits and 1,000 blocked shots since Vegas joined the NHL. Sometime in the next season or so, McNabb will reach 1,500 blocked shots and 2,000 hits, something only 9 players in NHL history have ever done. The Saskatchewan native epitomizes prairie tough, doing the hard things required to win games. He hasn't missed a game in 3 seasons. A farmer's son, McNabb has the dirt of his farm in his DNA. Quarter is neither asked nor given. He's as comfortable, bathed in the soft light of a farmhouse porch, as he is in the harsh neon of Vegas. A few years ago, after signing a multi-million-dollar contract extension, McNabb was asked what he was going to do with all that money. His instant response: call Dad to discuss the price of land. And while he's certainly small town, he's also big time. Challenge McNabb to check the best of the best, and he'll find a way to get it done. He's smart, experienced, and committed. McNabb isn't cut like modern defenders who levitate above the surface. No, his skates are planted firmly on the ice. They're even dug in at times. Just try to go through them. Calm and poised, but fueled by a feral desire to win, McNabb isn't trendy, but his name is exactly where he wants it. On a Golden Knights contract and the Stanley Cup. That's no coincidence.
It's safe to say that Brayden McNabb plays an integral role with the VGK. We sat down with number 3 to talk about his decision to stay in the Valley.
Well, Brayden, we couldn't let too much time go by without congratulating you first and also talking about the extension that you signed with the team just a few weeks ago. How did that process all work out?
It wasn't too long. They came to approach me and asked me if I wanted to stay, and obviously I wanted to, and my agent and the management got together and worked out a deal that we're both happy with, and I'm thrilled to be here and super excited that I can be a part of this organization for another 3 years.
So I know things don't obviously all go down in one day, but you signed the actual contract during the dad's trip, is that right?
Yeah, it happened that way. It worked out pretty cool that way. Having my dad there, it all worked out pretty special.
Why was it important to stay in Vegas?
I mean, I've been here since day one. It's home for us, a winning organization. There's so many factors to it. I just wouldn't feel right going anywhere else. So I was happy that they wanted me here, and because that's what I wanted at the end of the day.
You mentioned being here since day one. How would you describe what it means to you? to be an original misfit and to have played such a key part in getting this organization off the ground?
Yeah, it means a ton. You know, super proud of it. Just thinking about that first year, how special it was, and what we accomplished and kind of accomplished for the organization, building that winning culture, and obviously management and coaches have done a great job building great teams throughout the years. But that first year, kind of establishing the culture and, you know, getting the city involved and, you know, just going to our games at home. It's special to be able to do that for 41 games a year. So,
how is the player sitting next to me right now different than the player that came to Vegas in 2017?
You know, yeah, definitely, you know, more mature. You know, you grow up. Not to say I wasn't unmature when I got here, but you definitely grow up, and you know, you're, as far as hockey-wise, you understand the game, and you become more of a veteran, and you understand who you're playing against a lot. And as a person, you know, you become a parent, and that's been, you know, a highlight of my life, and it's been a lot of fun.
Time for a short break here on Nightlife. Coming up next, more of our conversation with Brayden McNabb.
I was fortunate. In a small town, there's a lot of ice available, so I would live at the rink. I had my grandparents' house where I'd go eat, and I'd be at the rink, either watching a game or skating. So I got a lot of hours on the ice, and I feel very fortunate, and that's where I developed probably a lot of my hockey skills.
Don't go anywhere. Nightlife on Script Sports will be right back. Welcome back to Nightlife.
Do you remember your first NHL goal?
I do, yes, against Thomas Volkoon.
Boys ducks away from one and another. Now to McNabb, the shot, score! A little razzle-dazzle from Boys sets up the goal, and Buffalo has a 4-0 lead on the power play.
On the power play, believe it or not.
On the power play?
Yeah.
Walk us through it.
Kind of remember just following up a play, and it ended up in the slot, and Luke Adam kind of popped it out to me, I believe. Or no, it might have been Boys, I can't remember. And I got in the slot, and I just tried to get it on net and went in.
Do you remember what that feeling was like right after?
Yeah, it was special. It was a great moment. You know, I wish it was first of many, but it hasn't been that many. But it was great. It's something you kind of dream of your whole life, and for it to happen, it's a pretty special feeling in the moment and after the game.
Do you remember the first person you talked to after, besides your teammates?
I probably texted with my parents for sure. I probably got a lot of texts from people back home. That's quite some time ago now, so I don't remember exactly how it went down.
It's been quite some time since Brayden McNabb lit the lamp for the first time in his career in Buffalo. Now he's built a family and a life for himself in Vegas. We rejoin our conversation with Nabber to talk about life and growing up around the sport of hockey.
What has it been like becoming a dad?
It's been awesome. You know, it definitely changes things for sure, but your days off are busy, but it's a lot of laughs. You know, we're at a great age right now, we're around 1.5, and he's talking, smiling, and you know, he's like my new best buddy. So it's been a lot of fun. Is
he on skates yet? Have you tried to take him out?
We got some skates on him at the Christmas party. He didn't love it, but he loves his stick and balls and pucks. You know, he runs around the house saying hockey, so he understands it, knows what it is, and it's pretty cool.
Being in Vegas, his upbringing might be a little bit different than what yours was in small town Saskatchewan. How would you describe what it was like where you grew up?
Yeah, looking back, it was awesome. I feel very lucky that I was able to do that. You know, everyone knew everyone. Still to this day, you know, the town's special to me, and they all come and support me and watch me in different games and in Vegas and on the road. So it's a special place for me, and you know, it's definitely a big part of my hockey career.
So what, we're like 5 to 6 hours away from your hometown? We sit here in Edmonton right now, we're 5 to 6 hours. I think we're like 7 hours away when we were in Winnipeg.
Yes, ish, yeah, 5, 6 from here.
What is the temperature like compared to Winnipeg? Is it as frigid?
Oh yeah, it's probably the same or worse. Yeah, it's cold. It's definitely much different in Vegas, but you know, you kind of forget. I've been lucky. I've been out of the big time winters for over a decade now, so getting soft. But yeah, it's definitely similar to when we landed in Winnipeg.
I'm sure that was still a highlight for you growing up, though, was the winter time. Wanted to ask you about the rink that your dad built in the backyard.
Yeah, he built a pretty big one in the middle of the farm. We used it a decent amount, but I was fortunate in a small town. There's a lot of ice available, so I would live at the rink. I had my grandparents' house where I'd go eat, and I'd be at the rink either watching a game or skating. So I got a lot of hours on the ice, and I feel very fortunate, and that's where I developed probably a lot of my hockey skills.
Brayden McNabb open, looking, shot, score! Nice move by Brayden McNabb. Waiting for a shooting lane to open up, and he snaps it home on the first Vegas shot of the night.
I know you talked about spending a lot of time in the rink. I'm sure at the time you also loved the rink that your dad built right there in the middle of the farm, but now that you're an adult and a dad yourself, do you just view that differently? What he did for you?
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of work, right? And especially in a climate like it is there, with it snowing, you gotta take the snow off, and it's a lot of work just for me to enjoy it, right? So it was definitely special, and very thankful for that.
You mentioned that people come travel to watch you at home and on the road from back home. What city do they come to when they're watching you on the road?
Yeah, well, Winnipeg, I had 4 of my good buddies who I grew up with come, so that was awesome. And whenever they can come, that's great. You know, it's all Alberta here, Edmonton, Calgary, Winnipeg are usually the away games that they'll all get to.
I have to ask, were those 4 buddy of yours lined up on the glass in Brayden McNabb jerseys during warm-ups last night?
Yeah, you could have picked them out of a snowstorm there. That was, those were them.
What is that fun for you? Is it like a parent embarrassing you? What's it like when all your buddies are on there on the glass?
No, it's great. I didn't know they were going to be there, but in the back of my mind, I knew they were going to be there. And came out, and I heard the glass bang. I didn't look, and I'm like, oh, there they are for sure. And I give them a wink and a smile, and it's great. It's great to see them.
And you gave them a good game too.
Yeah, it was a great game. Great come from behind game, so it was a great game for them to come watch.
So we talked about the kid who, grew up in that small town. What would he want for these next 3 years as a Vegas Golden Knight?
Keep winning. We've had a great start to the year, and it's all about winning the Stanley Cup. We've got one, and you want it back. So just keep building our game, and be competitive each year, and have a chance to win the Stanley Cup.
Brayden, congratulations again, and thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Time for our last break here on Nightlife. Coming up next, we take a look back at the back-and-forth game against the Minnesota Wild.
On the move with Eichel through center. And Howden joining the rush along with Theodore. Pass to Theodore. Shot! Score! The Golden Knights convert their turnover and the odd man rush. And Shea Theodore's giving Vegas the lead.
Keep it locked. Nightlife on Scripps Sports will be right back. Welcome back to Nightlife. After splitting the first 2 games of the road trip, the Golden Knights looked to finish the road trip with a winning record when the puck dropped against the Minnesota Wild.
For the Golden Knights now, their 3rd game in which they've had their entire lineup available to them, and among that group, Victor Olofsson, just recently back in the lineup, had a goal yesterday. He's got 5 now in the 10 games he's played in this year.
Just trying to shoot the puck as much as I can, and playing with good players, so they usually find me out there, so just find the open space and shoot the puck.
For Bruce Cassidy, hoping his team can find that offense. Liked a lot of the positive things they did in Edmonton. They'll also need to tighten up defensively, certainly after giving up 6.
Underway from St. Paul, the Golden Knights have gone 8-2 in their last 10 against the Wild. Freeze-off game, the offensive zone. Feeds it around. Brayden McNabb takes a bump from Zuccarello. In front, Kaprizov scores! On a bang-bang play, Kirill Kaprizov, his 21st, comes a minute and a half into the game. Chisholm plays it around his own net. Brent Howden, now Dorofeev trying to jam it, and a save made by Ballstead.
At home, just over 65%.
They killed all 3 yesterday against Philly, but it's been an issue this year. Olofsson, a wrist shot, and he scores! Right off the bat, 7 seconds into the power play, Victor Olofsson has tied the game. All season long, been dealing with injuries again to some of their key people. And the Golden Knights, they know that deal. They've had to get off this draw, Barbashev, and yet to get to his feet. Dropping it back for Bogosian. We're going to fight here. So Kolazar going to drop the gloves with Foligno after Foligno took down Barbashev in the last shift.
Also what Kolazar talked about what he means to his teammates.
stepping up for his teammate. Two tough guys dropping the gloves.
Faber surveys the scene. Pass intercepted by Stone. On the move with Eichel through center. And Howden joining the rush along with Theodore. Pass to Theodore. Shot! Score! The Golden Knights convert their turnover and the odd man rush. And Shea Theodore's giving Vegas the lead. Pass across out of the reach of Kaprizov. Brodin picks it up. Centered him. Deflected off the post. And a save. Samsonov on Kaprizov. White Cloud in his own territory. Now Eichel steers it around the wall for Olofsson. Kaprizov takes it back. Zuccarello to Faber. Faber with a shot blocked. White Cloud was there. Kaprizov scores! Came right to Kirill Kaprizov. He rips home his second of the game to tie it. Hard around the boards to a waiting Pavel Dorofeev with Carlson and Olofsson coming. Olofsson's open. His shot! Score! That broke through Volstead. Carlson may have got a piece of it to give Vegas the lead again. The home team down by 1. It's a 6-on-4 for Minnesota. Zuccarello down low. Rossi centered it. Out high Spurgeon. Holding a one-timer. Turned away by Samsonov. Puck loose on the side of the crease. And that's it. And the Golden Knights win. A 3-2 victory in Minnesota right down to the final second.
What a finish for the Golden Knights. The scramble got a little dicey in the dying seconds of this third period. And it's Pietrangelo diving back. Eichel with a tie-up. It's a gritty win as they grind it out. Get a huge 2 points on the road to close out this road trip.
That does it for this week's episode of Nightlife. Make sure to tune in next week as we recap the 12 nights of Vegas Golden Knights holiday giving. In the meantime, make sure to get your last-minute Christmas shopping done. And we'll see you next time, right here on Strip Sports.